Good morning, Virgo. You felt something when you saw this title. Don't pretend you didn't. Something moved somewhere in your chest or your stomach. That quiet electric thing that happens when something reaches you before your mind has time to filter it. Welcome. That feeling was the beginning. I want to start slow because what I am about to describe starts slow too. So slowly that you almost miss it. So quietly that the people around you definitely miss it. Because from the outside, nothing looks different yet. Everything appears to be exactly as it was. But underneath, something has already shifted. There is a version of your life that has been waiting, not passively, actively, building pressure. The way water builds behind a dam, quietly, with increasing force, until the structure holding it back can no longer hold. And what was contained releases all at once with a power proportionate to how long it was held. You have been holding something back, or something has been held back for you for longer than felt fair. That holding is ending. I want to talk about the overnight part because I know it sounds like a promise, and I want to be honest with you about what it actually means. Things do not change overnight from nowhere. They change overnight from somewhere, from the accumulated weight of everything you have been doing, everything you have been building, every small step, every invisible choice, every morning you got up when staying down would have been easier. Every time you chose to keep moving when stopping felt completely justified. All of that has been stacking, and at some point, the stack tips, and what looked like a gradual climb suddenly looks like a leap, because the leap was always the sum of 1,000 small movements that you couldn't see adding up until they did. All at once, that tip is close, very close. And I want to be specific about what tipping feels like from the inside, because you may be in it right now and not fully realize it. It feels like restlessness, a productive kind, the kind that cannot settle into the familiar anymore, that keeps looking toward the horizon even when the horizon has not changed, as if some part of you knows that what is on the other side of it is closer than the distance looks. It feels like ideas arriving faster than usual, connections forming in your mind between things that seemed unrelated, solutions presenting themselves to problems you had given up on solving, a creative energy, an aliveness that has been building in the background and is now pressing toward expression. It feels like the past losing its grip, like old stories about what is and is not possible for you, quietly, without drama, starting to feel less true, less fixed, less like the walls of your reality, and more like old furniture you are finally ready to move. If any of that sounds familiar, you are already in the tipping. And what comes after the tipping is the change, because that word in the title is specific. It is not just excitement. It is not just good news arriving. Chills are what happen when something true reaches you. When something aligns so completely with what you are, with what you have been moving toward, with what you have been quietly certain was possible, even when the certainty had no logical basis, that your body responds before your mind does. Your body knows things that your mind is still catching up to, and what your body has been sensing in the weeks and months of building and waiting and trusting is about to be confirmed in a way that is not subtle, in a way that even the most cautious part of you cannot explain away, cannot file under coincidence, cannot reduce to something smaller than what it is. Something real is arriving, and it is going to give you chills. I want to describe what this overnight change may actually feel like from the inside, because I think you deserve to be prepared for the specific texture of it. It will probably start with something small, a message, a call, a decision that seems contained, a conversation that begins ordinarily, and then goes somewhere else entirely, somewhere that changes the entire landscape of what is possible for you. And there will be a moment, a specific moment where you feel it, that shift, that release of pressure, that sense of something clicking into place with an almost audible sound, like the last piece of something enormous, finally finding its position. And in that moment, something will be different. Everything after it will operate from a different foundation, a different baseline, a different set of what is normal for your life. That is the overnight, not the absence of everything that came before it, but the completion of it into something new. Whew. Now I want to talk about you, about the specific quality of what you have been building, because the change that is coming is not random. It is not arbitrary. It did not choose you by accident. It chose you because of what you have been doing in the invisible seasons. The work nobody applauded, the growth nobody witnessed, the internal reorganization that happened quietly while your external life looked unchanged, while people around you saw the same person in the same circumstances and did not know, could not know that inside something was being completely rebuilt. You rebuilt yourself in the silence, in the waiting, in the seasons that looked like stagnation from the outside, but were compression from the inside, pressure that was creating something rather than destroying it. And what was created is the version of you that the overnight change is coming for. I want to speak to the doubt, because even as something in you lights up at this, even as the chills arrive, there is another part, quieter, more cautious, that says, things do not change overnight for me. That is for other people. People with different circumstances, different luck, different starting points. I need to address that directly. The people whose lives change overnight are not different from you in the ways that matter. They are not more deserving, not more talented, not more worthy of good things arriving quickly and completely. They simply stopped believing that overnight was not for them. That shift, that single internal decision to stop categorizing yourself as someone to whom big things happen slowly, if at all, is the change that precedes every other change, is the overnight that happens inside before the overnight happens outside. Make that decision now, quietly, without announcement. Just decide that fast is available to you, that big is available to you, that overnight is available to you. Because here is what I see in your energy right now. And this is the part that gave me chills. When I tuned into it, everything is aligned. I do not mean that casually. I mean it in the most specific way. The internal work done, the foundation solid, the vision clear, the readiness real, the timing right, all of it at once, aligned. Do you understand how rare that is? How infrequently all of those things converge at the same moment for the same person in the same chapter of their life. It is happening for you right now, in this season, in these exact weeks and months that you are living through. And when everything aligns like this, things move fast. I want to talk about what your life looks like on the other side of this, not in a vague, inspirational way, in a specific, grounded way. There is a version of your everyday life that is fundamentally different from the current one. Not different in every external detail, but different in feeling, in texture, in the baseline from which you operate. You wake up differently, not because your circumstances are necessarily unrecognizable, but because something fundamental has shifted. The weight that has been living in your chest, that low-grade tension of things being almost but not quite, of potential that has not yet been met, of knowing you are capable of more than what is currently reflected in your life. That weight is gone. And in its place, something lighter, something that feels like, finally, like arrival, like the exhale after a very long inhale. That feeling is coming soon, faster than you think. I want to leave you with a question, not rhetorical, a real one that I want you to actually sit with. What would you do differently today, this week, right now, if you genuinely believed that your life was about to change overnight? Would you reach out to someone, make a decision you have been postponing, start something you have been waiting to feel more ready for, say yes to something that has been sitting in front of you, unanswered, because you were not sure if the timing was right? The timing is right? Do that thing, whatever it is. Do it before you talk yourself out of it again, before the cautious voice assembles its arguments, before the doubt rewrites what you felt when you saw the title of this message. Because that feeling, that first electric response before your mind filtered it, was your knowing. And your knowing has been right all along. Your life changes overnight, and tonight is closer than yesterday was. Move like it.